Part 1. White Clouds. Verdant Rain Moon. Tower of Black Winds. The ceaseless rains that satiate the verdant landscape of Fodlan are accompanied by fierce winds and mighty roars of thunder. This abundance of rain, sparkling as it falls against beams of emerging sunlight, is a constant reminder to the people of Fodlan that nature is ever wild and unpredictable. For when the rain finally does take pause, the clouds part and give way to a glorious rainbow.
Alright. So, off to a new chapter. Funnily enough, this is like the second time I've been recording this because I completely forgot to turn on the, I forgot to turn on the audio for my microphone. I forgot that I had paused that as I went to go do something real quick. So there you go. We are now starting a new chapter.
I have a new mission for you, Professor. I would like for you to take your students into Kingdom territory to eliminate some thieves.
They stole a hero's relic from House Gautier of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, the Lance of Ruin. Their leader's name is Miklan. He is apparently a disowned son of House Gautier.
Why was he disowned?
I believe it had something to do with his lack of a crest. Such happenings are fairly common within the kingdom.
The Crestless cannot unleash the goddess's power even if they possess a relic. Nonetheless, they are still capable of simply wielding those weapons.
The hero's relics are immensely powerful weapons. We must meet this threat with adequate force. Unfortunately, most of the Knights of Seiros are away from the monastery, purging the apostates of the Western Church. So we are entrusting you with this mission. After all, you wield the Sword of the Creator, which is more than capable of opposing any relic.
The Sword of the Creator is a powerful weapon well beyond the other relics. You have nothing to fear. However, to ensure that no harm comes to the students, we will also send the monastery's most skilled individuals to aid you.
I must remind you that you are expected to conduct yourself in a manner befitting the wielder of that holy sword. Also, you should know that Professor Hanneman has been looking for you. That is all.
I heard about our mission for this month. So, we are to eradicate thieves in Kingdom territory. I'm sorry for dragging you into the Kingdom's petty squabbles. This should not be your burden to bear, but my own.
I'm just happy to help.
Thank you, Professor. Hearing you say that puts my mind at ease.
Your Highness? Ah, it's been ages!
It's been a long time. 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, Your Highness. You've grown so much in those years, I hardly recognize you.
Who is this?
This is Rodrigue, an old friend of my father's. I believe I've mentioned him, if you recall. When my father died 4 years ago, he looked after me as though I were his own son.
Ha ha! You flatter me, Your Highness. It was my honor to care for such a fine young man. It's nice to finally meet you, Professor. My son, Felix, has mentioned you on occasion.
What brings you to the monastery, Rodrigue? Is it the thieves plaguing the kingdom?
I'm afraid so. This is not merely a problem for House Gautier, but for everyone. The thieves have set up their headquarters in Fraldarius territory, and are mercilessly pillaging the villagers of that area. You have our full support in stopping those dastards. I thank you for your help, both of you.
Good of you to come, Professor. I've heard much about you lately. Specifically, that you are able to awaken the sword of the Creator's power. Thusly, it seems the true nature of your crest has been uncovered. I had, of course, seen your crest before. However, at first, I failed to recognize its true nature. Eventually, it dawned on me that what is visible is perhaps merely a small part of a greater whole. In other words, your crest is too significant to be detected when using normal instruments. After this discovery, I began researching crests that might fit that description, which allowed for a temporary hypothesis. However, I could not be certain. The crest my conclusions led me to was far too unusual. A crest thought to have disappeared from this world in the millennium since the fall of Nemesis, the King of Liberation. The crest of flames. That is what you possess. Your ability to wield the sword of the Creator has unequivocally proven my hypothesis. A legendary power, dormant since time immemorial, and now resurrected. There can be no doubt that this ancient power resides within you.
Well, it's a birthday. As you could see from the episode I did with Flane, I kind of suck at the tea parties, so I'm just gonna do flowers. You can really increase your affinity with people if you host the tea parties. I know, but I'm kind of just throwing that out there. Yeah, we're gonna explore. You don't have a reason not to. Hello, Sothis.
A stone? A stone. I do not understand. Yet, as I think of it, the pounding in my chest grows faster still. But is that me? Or is it you?
Confusing questions lingering ever still. Alright, so we're gonna rush around and see what's happening first. Okay.
I'm not secretly eating cake.
Uh-huh. I can sense it.
Okay, what's Bernie doing right now? Oh, fine. You got me. Keep it a secret, all right?
Okay. We'll get to those supports in a moment. I'm wanting to check on... Yeah, so this... Gosh. There's a lot of this going on. Oh, man. Alright. Let's do some gardening. We're gonna harvest... Oh, we got the pomegranate. That's very useful. I'm going to do Western Foldland and vegetable seeds. And we're definitely going to cultivate it by pruning, so we can get more out of it.
It's awful. Just awful what happened with the Rite of Rebirth. The infirmary. Well, it was a mess. Things are finally calm again, and so I've come here to unwind. Let me tell you, I put all of my knowledge to use keeping those kids alive. Still, the truth of it is that when someone faces death for the first time, well, they figure out who they are. They learn if they can do it again. We can't lose them, Professor. Not to battle or to cowardice. If you can keep them going, then I will too.
I will protect them. Alright. I do want to further the faith one, because I do have that possibility of getting a star there.
I still have much to learn.
And I got it. There we go. Magic.
Such power dwells within?
Alright, so that actually does a good bit. No, not that. Abilities. So I can't use magic the way I am, so I'm just gonna switch it to white magic avoid. So that'll help out whenever someone's trying to use Nosferatu or whatever.
Hi.
There's plenty of other white magic spells
No.
that can dish out damage. Yes. Oh, I don't have any bait. Alright. Well, now I do, but we'll just run around before we do that. Hello, Flame.
Why is that fish so still? Wait, is it swimming sideways? Perhaps,
Oh my.
perhaps it is resigned to its woeful fate of being plucked from the water and eaten. Ah, Professor, you are so outgoing with all of the students. I would like to have more opportunities to connect with you, though I am certain my brother would disapprove. Might you help me with a favor?
Yeah, we'll definitely take care of that.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Oh, come to think of it, last month there was something to report, wasn't there? Thanks to you, I hear that everything was resolved. I never realized that bandits had entered. I'm not a great guard after all, am I? I hope you will forgive me one day.
No, you'll be fine.
I could use your help.
Take down the bandits. Yes. So, these are quest battles. You will need to complete certain quests, choose the battle option on your day off. So, the next day we'll have off, we'll take care of that.
Could you help me out?
Yes. We finally got ourselves the blacksmith.
Knew I could count on you.
And we picked that up over there. So, we got ourselves a couple of
Hey there.
smithing stones and whatnot. Now, this is kind of what I've done throughout the different playthroughs, but throughout the other playthrough I've done, is whenever something like this gets low, like it's got 6 more uses before it's done, I'll always just upgrade it. And it will restore the it'll restore the actual sword to, and not only a higher full use, but you can actually get increase in different things, whether it's attack, hit. It just kind of depends. For her, I want something that hits a little bit harder, so I'm going to go with the steel sword.
There you go.
You do use materials doing this. As you can see, there are some things that are locked by your professor level, so you do want to do your best to upgrade that. But as you can see, training bows can only go to pluses, which just downgrade the weight. But this can increase the mount and decrease weight and hit and increase hit. So just kind of want to keep an eye out on those things. Like this, I really don't need too much. I think we'll be fine if we just go with Iron Gauntlets Plus.
There you go.
Alright, I think we're good there. Repairing... Actually, let's just do Forge. So, like this guy... It's going to cost a little bit more to make it a steel bow, but I don't really have any steel bows, so let's go ahead and do that.
There you go.
Rusted bow, I actually have 3 of these.
Is this it?
So,
There you go.
let's get them back
Is this
to
it? There you
being
go.
normal.
Is this it? There you go.
We do have... that's fine. A rusted sword, we're gonna
Is
go
this it?
back
There
and
you
make it
go.
into an iron. Also, this rusted
this it?
sword's gonna become an
There you
iron.
go.
I think... No, there's a rusted lance.
Is this it? There you go.
Thought I saw one. That was... No. Alright, well... There is a rusted axe, rusted lance, and rusted gauntlets.
Come back anytime.
So that'll be fine. Inventory-wise... We don't need that. And... Yeah, I'll keep the lance. We don't need 3 swords with you. You're fine. You're fine. Can put the Vulnerarian Spirit Dust up. And we can put the chest key up as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue what I was kind of doing last time. Is just using these on Blythe. It seems a bit much. Part of it's because I want to get my stats up. Because if I want to make sure that my character can... that I can actually start recruiting people, I'm going to need really good stats. And part of it is going to be tied to whether or not I actually have high enough like weapon skills in these areas. So it's going to be a little bit of both that I'm having to try to balance. So
What do you require?
that's how I'm going to go about it.
Farewell.
That and Blythe is always going to be in our fights, so... That's how I'm going to play that out. Hello, Ferdinand.
The coffin of Saros in the Holy Mausoleum should have held her remains. Instead, they say it held the sword of the Creator. What could it mean?
Who knows? I think his is writing.
Perfect. Well,
No, Dex and heavy armor.
Some people are unhappy because they don't have the crest they want. And some are unhappy because they have a crest they never asked for.
I believe hers is
Oh,
magic
Professor,
and
excuse
fate.
me.
No, magic and writing. Okay.
For a hero's relic to be stolen, it's unheard of.
and just last month, the sword of the Creator was almost stolen too.
Also quite unheard of. What impudence.
Alright.
Hello there. I have heard that someone from House Gautier, one of the Kingdom of Fargus's noble families, is causing some sort of commotion. What a complete disgrace to the nobility.
Have fun with that. Alright. Someone who cares for horses.
Wow, Lord Rodrigue in the flesh. What is Felix doing? This is such a rare opportunity for him to see his family.
I mean, who knows?
Okay.
I have a request.
That's right.
Hail, Professor. If I may introduce myself, I am Gilbert. My life has been spent as a dedicated knight. I am to accompany you on your assignment. I may have slowed a step in recent years, but I pledge to you the full extent of my abilities.
It's a pleasure
No,
to meet you.
Professor. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you.
So this guy, when I was playing the other file that I've got, He's actually the one that comes and talks to you after you talk to Rhea. It's a bit odd, but it's kind of interesting that they... Because I guess because I chose the Blue Lions, Roderick came up and talked to us. You know what? Actually, before I do that, we're gonna kind of explore a little bit. No? Alright. Yeah, let's actually go to the middle area where we can gather. It's just one thing? Okay. It's just one thing. That seemed a bit just... I feel like that was a bit of a jib. Alright, that's fine. No, actually, I want to go this way.
Hey!
There we go. Hello,
Hey,
Raphael.
Professor. Don't you think everyone's making too big a fuss over these crests, or heroes' relics, or whatever they're called? How important can that stuff really be?
Not sure.
Personally, I don't even care that I don't have a crest. I'll take muscles over crests any day. Heck, I'll take muscles over a hot meal. Actually...
It's a bit of a toss-up for him. He has no idea. Oh, I see this.
Aristocrats are fools, allowing their lives to be dictated by their crests. Though, I suppose I am much the same in that regard.
Hers is magic and
Yes?
faith.
I'm actually very busy right now.
Yes, magic and faith. And I actually do want to recruit
I thought
her
school
of all
life would
people.
be peaceful and quiet, with a sprinkle of drama to keep things interesting. But since you arrived, it's been one thing after another. Is that just a coincidence, I wonder? Oh,
so.
I was just kidding. Anyway, as I said before, I do like having a little drama in my life.
She is the one that makes the drama, by the way.
Aristocrats are fools. Allow, though. Hey!
There you go.
That's mine! Thank you for finding it.
No problem. Alright.
The Leicester Alliance is governed through roundtable conferences between the 5 most prominent allied dukes, the 5 Great Lords. First and foremost is Duke Regan, the Alliance's leader. Joining him are the heads of House Goneril, House Gloucester, and House Ardelia. Lastly, there is the newest addition, Margrave Edmund. These 5 each have voting power in the conferences. Before House Edmund, it was House Daphne that was counted amongst the 5. However, it is said that the head of that family relinquished their vote to House Edmund, which had only recently risen to significance.
Alright.
Hey, Professor, did you happen to see that man I was looking for earlier? I just spotted him by the dining hall, but then he ran away.
Yeah, I might have seen him.
Oh? You saw him by the entrance to the monastery? Thank you, Professor. Father, I found you at last.
I'll be honest with her. I have no idea. I don't remember, and it could be because of how I've recorded this in like small batches here and there. I really don't know who the person is she's talking about. I'm assuming it's the guy that's going with us, but I don't know.
So, you have a crest too, eh, Professor? Does that mean you're descended from nobility? You've certainly got the look for it. I sure do wish there were more nobles like you, Professor. A teacher, a mercenary, and so very mysterious. How could a girl ever get enough? I do find you very interesting.
Oh yeah, Charm and Authority. That's what I need to upgrade for that.
You and your class were at that fight in the Holy Mausoleum, right? I sincerely hope the holy artifacts are unscathed. I admit I wish I could have been there to see it all, even if it does make me queasy. But I was there too early. I'd gone first thing in the morning. At noon, one of the monks chased me out, saying I'd been there too long. Who were they to decide when I've been somewhere too long?
He's a bit of a lazy person. Just nonchalant. Alright, so... Actually, you know what? Well, I know who that's for. So... let's go ahead and start doing Flame's request real quick. And while we're at it, we're gonna run over here.
You guys have it bad in your own way. But believe me when I say, we've got it bad too. With all that happened last month, a great many knights were dispatched to the Western Church. And now we must set out for the Eastern Church, located in the far east of the Leicester Alliance. If I must die in Alliance territory, I wish it wasn't in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. I'd much rather go on a sightseeing trip to Deirdre. Oh, you don't know? Deirdre is House Regan's domain. It's called the Aquatic Capital.
We've got one note. You can always put on more clothing when it's cold, but you can only remove so many layers from its feet. How do you survive in the hot summer? First one's... Really? You didn't like it? Oh, fine. He worked for a group of 4 that was traveling through the hottest desert in the world. Alright? And we're gonna pick up the shards.
You have helped me so much.
And so, when you complete quests, paralogs, and auxiliary battles, you will earn renown for which can be spent on statues of the 4 saints. And as you restore the statues, you will gain various bonuses for unit growth.
Need something?
Alright, so... as you can see, we have 5,000 renown. Well, 5,500. And we could spend that throughout one or throughout various ones as you go through. I'm going to go first with the lance.
You're all set.
Nice thing is that it'll take the renown you spent and then dock it off the next ones as you keep going. So you're not having to spend 5,000 when you get here. It'll be less by the time you get there, which is nice.
This one?
I'm going to be spending a little bit on this specific one.
You're all set.
So, because gains extra experience when you to units assigned class, just gain extra experience in general, and I've been trying to raise these, so there's going to be that. Do I want to do it for the other ones? I can get up to the experience for each one of them. Or I could do a Divine Pulse and forego one of those.
This one?
Yeah, so we're going to use this for getting a Divine Pulse upgrade. And as you can see, the statue has become a bronze statue, which is kind of nice, honestly.
This one?
We're gonna... yeah.
This one?
Increase...
You're all... This one?
brawling skills.
You're all set. This one?
And we're gonna also increase experience.
You're all set.
We're going to increase
You're all this one.
the sword and reason skills.
You're all set. This one.
And axe and authority.
You're all set. This one. You're all set.
And I'm gonna get the experience from this one.
You're all set.
Because I do want to get to the authority part. Writing will be another one I'll need to look at getting at some point.
See you again soon.
But that seriously does help out when you're trying to aid your teachings as well as you learning from different professors.
So the whole plan to attack the monastery was some plot devised by the Western Church? That means they used Lenato. What right do they have to drag a good man like him into their schemes? There's going to be a big investigation into the Western Church soon. I wish I could be a part of it. I want to hear for myself why Lenato had to die.
I really do feel bad for him. Mercedes.
Professor, you looked like a natural wielding the sword of the Creator. It's strange though, isn't it? The last owner of the sword was Nemesis, but I thought he didn't have any descendants.
It is strange. Let's kind of warp over there for a sec.
Mercedes. Her face looks familiar.
Hello.
The Lance tournament.
I know Lord Rodrigue. He paid repeated visits to His Highness after the previous king was killed.
Say, I hear that a knight of Seiros named Gilbert will be joining us for our mission this moon. He is skilled, which is surely a boon for us. Still, that was not very thoughtful of Lady Rhea.
Yeah, history?
No, it's nothing. In any case, you should at least introduce yourself to him before we depart. House Gautier is Sylvain's home. It would be nice of you to check on him as well.
Trying to think. It's not that calendar. There we go. Okay. So, I think best way to really go about this is... I didn't talk to Tomas. Must have went a different direction than where he actually was. Actually, you know what? I can go this way. I can go this way. Well, I know who that goes to.
I'm gonna keep training until I can beat you.
Well, go for it.
I have never had goings to the kingdom's north. I hear the people of North are cold and have much loneliness. Professor, I hear you have worked as a mercenary in the kingdom. Did you find joy in this? You cannot remember? Is that having possibility? I have amazement. I had lost the place of this. You have my thanks. This is not belong.
I did not mean to do that. Alright. Herring bait. And some seeds, so there we go.
The head of the Western Church holds the title of bishop. That's not as distinguished as an archbishop, such as Lady Rhea, but it still comes with a fair amount of authority. If someone in that position plotted an assassination, I cannot help but think it must have been instigated by some outside force. There are bishops in the Eastern Church as well, but to speak frankly, they do not have much impact. They are under the influence of both the Archbishop and the Leicester Alliance, so their ability to voice grievances is quite limited.
Sorry. Golly. Whew. That actually hurt.
Some people are unhappy because they don't have the crest they want, and some What's this?
It's not yours?
What?
Oh. Where did... Okay, and that was over here. I have something for you, Annette.
Father.
Oh, that! I thought it was gone for good. How did you know it was mine?
Put 2 and 2 together. Alright.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There we go. Help increase her motivation. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna fish just a tiny bit. Mainly because we don't have a whole lot of actual bait. Oh, it gave me 3 fish. Alright. And... ooh. Well, I decided to speed up that. Alright. Still not impressed by... Wow. Got a bunch of fish out of that. So... yeah, let's go over there.
You acquitted yourself honorably last month. To think they'd go into the Holy Mausoleum and assault the Goddess Tower. I cannot imagine the Western Church was acting on its own. Someone must have been helping them. As for the masked knight who escaped, his days are numbered. I hope we find him soon, so I can kill him myself.
At this point, either one of these would be good. I'm gonna say do sword because I really like using the brawling, so I'm gonna That's gonna go up a lot quicker.
Professor, have you seen my son, perchance? I have need of him. Is that so? Thank you, Professor. I must ask him not to distract you, Professor, nor His Highness from the matter at hand.
I wonder...
I'm so sorry my older brother is causing you all this hassle, Professor. Don't misunderstand. I always thought he was a piece of garbage. But I never thought he'd steal the relic. I can't wait to see his face when he realizes I'm in the group that was sent to take him down.
Let's just hope he doesn't start...
Oh, that's mine! Oh, thanks, Professor. You really saved the day.
You're welcome. You can have that as well.
I can really have this?
Yes, you can. Alright. I mean, we saw Felix up here.
Have you seen a man who looks like me? He's middle-aged and relatively tall.
I have.
If you get the chance, tell him I've gone out, okay?
Well, sorry, kinda late for that. I told him you were up here. Alright, so...
I heard about the things you did. I'm so glad Lady Rhea is safe. I figure you're a great person after all, Professor.
And... I believe we're good.
I learned all sorts of things, so I can do as much as possible for Lady Rhea. Cleaning, chopping wood, making feed. Oh, and I'm learning the bow and arrow from Shamir. I'm happy to help you out with anything you need done for your class. You betcha. I'm your guy, Professor. Since, you know, you can't exactly add me to your class or anything. I heard about the thing. I figured.
I don't really have anything for him specifically. Hey, Claude.
Hey, Teach. I hear you were able to use the Sword of the Creator. That means... What does that mean? Could it mean that you're a descendant of Nemesis, the King of Liberation?
Possibly. We're not sure yet. Alright.
Professor!
Captain Gerald was all furrowed brow earlier. Do you know what's got him so concerned? If there's a problem, I want to help any way I can. Okay, I doubt there's anything I can do for him, but I figured I'd ask anyway. Hey, I hope we get a chance to practice together when you find the time. I know I'm in a different class, but you're the only other person here who's learned from Captain Gerald.
Okay, so strength and lance. I am improving that. So, that would be good.
Oh my! The Crest of Flames? Could it really? Yes, the actual Crest of Flames! Ha ha ha! No, that is quite enough. I should compose myself. I must remain objective in my research. Objective, professional.
I respect your self-control.
The scandal with the Western Church troubles me. We cannot afford to let ourselves be swept along, and yet...
I'm going to do this so I can get some more reason going along.
Don't you think Professor Hanneman's been acting a bit strange? Maybe he's made some kind of big discovery.
Who knows with that guy. But we already know. He knows what our crest is, and he's, like, super duper excited. He's all nerding out.
Maybe. The assassination attempt on Lady Rhea, the theft of a hero's relic. I am up to my ears in foul news of recent. Speaking of, there's a terrifying rumor swirling around Garreg Mach these days. Apparently, a spirit of death wielding a huge scythe has been kidnapping young maidens. Will the madness never end?
Who knows? Alright, so we're gonna push on over here.
Ah, Professor. Gerald was looking for you. It seems he has gone off somewhere. If he is not in his room, then surely someone has seen him. Ask around. I have something to ask of you.
Certainly.
I have something to ask of you.
Certainly.
You must be rather bewildered by the power that was hidden within. However, know that I believe in you. I have no doubt that you will use that power justly. You will most certainly fulfill the grand destiny that the goddess has seen fit to grant you. May I ask a favor of you?
I could get the reason up to E+. Hold on. I'll hold off on that. Because I want to say as far as the rosters can... No. I can't see their motivation from here. Yeah, I've got enough to do a session, so I can do the last as a
Well... Oh, Professor, are you looking for Captain Gerald? I just saw him in the Knight's Hall a little while ago. He was talking with a female knight, but I didn't get a good look at who she was.
We'll try to increase our stats in something. Hopefully we can get it to a higher rank. We'll see.
Oh, Gerald? He said something about visiting a grave. There's a graveyard attached to the monastery, so you'll probably find him there. I can't remember where the graveyard is, but I bet Sedith knows.
Let's kind of just do a little bit of fast traveling to kind of speed this up a little bit.
Not possible, Father. Thank you so much.
I kind of just sped through that, but for her. But essentially, we were just giving her something to chill out.
Okay. I've had a chance to spar with Gilbert of the Knights of Seiros before. I couldn't get a single strike in. If that man is accompanying you on your assignment, you can rest assured that no harm will come to you. To be honest, he kind of reminds me of someone. But no, it must be my imagination, right?
It's weird that the sprite has her with light brown hair, like on the portrait, but this, she has red hair. Makes a bit... I know it's a generic one, it's just still,
The whole
it's weird.
plan to attack the monastery was some plot devised by the Western Church? That means they used Lenata. What right? I wish I want to hear... Oh, thank you.
I appreciate your effort.
while we're at it, since we're over here, since we got some more of the nonsense. That was only 200?
See you again soon.
That was not a lot. Alright, fine.
We're back. Ah, the graveyard. Of course I know it. It can be a little hard to find. Would you like me to show you where it is?
Yes, please.
Very well.
Doesn't really matter, honestly. At this point, it's just get to the police. But wait, oh, hello.
That man I walked past earlier. That wasn't Lord Rodrigue, was it?
Yes,
House
it was.
Fraldarius is a powerful noble family, linked to the founding of Fargus. Lord Rodrigue, its current leader, is a magnificent warrior. He's known as the Shield of Fargus. A dozen or so years ago, during the Northern Campaign in Srang, he performed splendidly as the king's right hand. Come to think of it, wasn't there someone from House Fraldarius amongst this year's students?
The answer to that is yes. He's a bit of a... he's stiff. That's the explanation I'll have as far as describing him. He is very stiff. Because he just doesn't...
I wanted to ask you to join me, but I couldn't find you. So, here I am. I was thinking we should visit your mother. She's resting beneath this humble grave.
Why is your grave here?
Hmm? Oh. Of course you would ask that. I wouldn't know where to begin. I suppose I haven't talked much about her. She was gentle and smart. Oh, so smart. A wonderful cook. Always kind to everyone. And she loved flowers. Whenever I brought her back an unusual flower, her face would light up. I cherish those memories. I can't count how many times she made me happy just by smiling. And she smiled the most when she was pregnant with you. She died right after you were born. She wasn't able to spend much time with you. But she loved you with all her heart. That's the truest thing I know. Never forget it. This ring is the only keepsake I have of her. In time, it will be yours. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love as well as I love her.
Such a sweet thing, honestly. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna level up authority.
Practice yields results.
Well done. You have my thanks.
There we go. Trade. When foe initiates combat, unit still attacks first if endurance is greater than or equal to a third. I'm gonna use battalion advantage instead of HP plus 5. And we've got a list of these. Oh my. Well, let's go down the list.
Good morning, Your Highness. Getting in some early training, huh?
Oh, it's not too terribly early. And what about you?
Oh, I'm just going for my morning walk. Hey, maybe you'd like to join me. It's a great way to start the day.
Morning walk? Funny. Ghosts have always kept the same habit. You really do remind me of your father, Annette.
I hear that a lot. Father was always busy with work, so he wasn't around much. But when he was home, he'd often take me with him for his walks.
Annette, something's been weighing on me. Something I've done terribly wrong. Your father, he worked tirelessly. I don't know if I ever saw him take a rest. I feel as though, in a way, we stole him from you.
I'll admit it was a bit lonely growing up. But I understand. Father loved his work. No one ever doubted that. Actually, I've been thinking recently that I'd like to talk to you more, Your Highness.
Oh? Any reason in particular?
Father was a man of few words, both with myself and my mother. But sometimes he would tell me about you. So, you don't really feel like a stranger to me. In a way, it's like I've known you for a long time. Almost as though you're my big brother.
Your big brother?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I let that slip out. That was rude of me.
No, nonsense. I promise you, I don't mind at all. It's certain that my days would have been filled with more fun if I'd had a little sister like you. What kind of things did Gustav tell you about me? I'd love to hear more on this topic.
Do you really want to know? Well, for one, he used to tell this story about when you were a child and...
You know what? Never mind. I have a bad feeling about where this is going. How about you forget we had this talk altogether? And don't mention it to anyone.
Sorry about that. They've been working on the roof to this place, and I was hearing it while I had my headphones on, so I'm sorry if you're actually hearing them hammering away on this. It's kind of crazy. Alright, Dedu and Sylvain are talking.
Dedu, hey. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not bothering you. Looks like you're pretty deep in thought.
Does it?
I just wanted to stop by and ask. It was your turn to cook last night, yeah?
Yes.
Well, it was great. I was wondering if you could give me some tips. You know, teach me how to cook. I hear a girl loves a man who can cook.
Sylvain.
Yeah?
You are from Fargus. You must understand how it appears for you to spend time with one from Duscur. To be near me is to invite tedious misunderstanding.
Oh, please. I don't care who misunderstands what about me. I talk to who I want. Besides, I believe the Duscur people are innocent.
You do?
Fargus and Duscur have been friendly since, heck, forever. So why would our old friends from Duscur just up and assassinate our king? It doesn't make sense. Sure, there are probably folks from Duscur who don't like Fargus. But do I think there's enough of them to mount an attack and slaughter the king and his whole company of elite guards?
It is difficult to believe, considering the discrepancy in skill and number.
Right? At most, I can see a misguided group of people from Duscur conspiring with someone else who had plans to dethrone the king. Maybe they were even lured into participating and used as scapegoats. Regardless, it doesn't concern you or the rest of your people. A person can't be judged by the worst of their kind. Or where would any of us be? Besides, people like to talk about me anyway, so let them talk. Okay, you're making a weird face. What did I say?
I have misjudged you. I was under the impression you only cared about women.
Well, I'm glad I've cleared up that misunderstanding. But really, there's no way I'm the only person who figured all that out. There must be people who think like me in Ferdiad, including His Highness.
Agreed. But whatever the truth, we are still perceived as traitorous assassins.
Once a misunderstanding takes hold, it isn't easy to clear the air. Not without solid evidence of the truth. But even if we found evidence that your people are innocent, those negative sentiments wouldn't disappear overnight. The only thing that can change that is time and effort. Depressing, isn't it?
Time and effort. Yes, I believe you're right.
Man, that got serious. Shouldn't we lighten things up with a nice cooking lesson?
Very well.
Alright. Felix, what do you have to talk about Mercedes with?
Here you go, Felix. Have some tea.
Oh.
Sorry, but we're all out of cakes. Should I bake some more?
Please, don't.
Oh, your clothes are so dirty. Let me wash them for you.
Mercedes, what's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just making tea. Is there something wrong with that?
You're not my mother. You don't have to bother with all this. I can do without it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You just remind me so much of my little brother.
I do?
Yes, his name is Emile. We have different fathers, but we grew up in the same household. That is, until I was about 8 or 9 years old. I haven't seen him since then.
Sorry to state the obvious, but I'm not your brother. I'm not Emile. Can't you find someone else to bother?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll leave you alone. Please help yourself to more tea if you'd like. I can leave the pot. Goodbye.
I am me, Felix Hugo Fraldarius. There is no one else. Brother.
That was a bit curt.
Wow, Ash, training again? You're taking this whole knight thing pretty seriously.
It's just my daily training. Maybe you could stand to be a little more eager yourself? If I want to be a great knight, I've got no choice but to put the effort in.
No choice? I think you're making life too difficult. Knights don't have to be perfect. All I'm saying is, I've seen some pretty sloppy knights out there.
That's not going to be me. I'm going to be a proud knight, virtuous and gallant.
Virtuous and gallant? Are you kidding me? If you just ride around being virtuous, people will get fed up. They'll boot you out of town.
It's never wrong to have virtue, not even if it means being made an outcast.
Interesting idea. You think very highly of this whole virtue thing. Say, have there been any knights who became great just by thinking highly of themselves? Think on this. Knights are supposed to protect people and earn their admiration. Isn't that right?
Well, yes. So what are you saying I should do?
Seize people's hearts!
What do you mean?
You want people to love you? Offer them something they haven't got. Guess what that is? It's you, Ash. They don't have you. Get out there, buddy. Be valiant. Help people. Here, I'll show you how it works.
Sylvain, don't go bothering people.
Hey there, cutie. You seem to have lots of bags there. They must be heavy. My name's Sylvain. Let me help you out. Are these going in the warehouse?
Helping out those in need, I guess that's a good start.
No thanks necessary. It's been enough just to be able to talk to you. Well, if you insist. How about we go get some tea? It must be fate that we met like this. I'd like to get to know you.
Great knight, huh? More like a great philanderer. Seems like all he wants to do is flirt with women. No, I can't allow this. I have to stop him.
Oh, Ash. Are you here to study too?
I am. It's quiet here. Easier to concentrate.
It really is. Hey, would you like to study together? We can help each other out if we get stuck.
Oh, yes. We'll get a lot more done working together.
What's the matter, Ash?
This question's got me stumped. A ballista inside a castle is ready to fire at enemies outside. What angle should be used for the shot? Assume the ballista is the same as those in Garreg Mach. Ignore the effects of wind. This is for defensive strategy, isn't it? Why is it so complicated? Don't you just aim and fire?
It may help to focus on maximizing target accuracy to reduce your miss rate. To start, let's sort out the setup. Let's see. Using these ballista specifications, if the ballistic whirls follow this trajectory, they'll hit the enemy lines, right?
Oh, that makes sense, because the enemy line will be here.
That's it! Okay, now try using that same technique and applying it to this other problem.
If the walls are this high and the enemy lines are at that distance... Oh, I think I see!
I knew you'd get it.
Wow, I didn't expect math of all things to be useful in a siege. This is tough. Numbers are not my strong suit. But this really is the sort of thing you have to know if you want to command troops.
That's true, but not everyone is good with numbers. That's why we have tacticians do these calculations for us, or prepare them before we go to battle. A century ago, the Empire's mathematicians played a huge role in the Battle of the Wall of Fodlan.
I had no idea. Hey, you really know what you're doing, Annette.
You think so?
Definitely. You've obviously done a lot of studying. I really admire that.
I suppose I have. Studying is a necessity if you want the advantage over your enemies. But necessity aside, it's nice to hear you say that.
I'll just be honest, the more I'm hearing the hammering outside, all I'm thinking is that one clip where the guy's going, "Stop the hammering! Stop the hammering!" That's all that's going through my head right now, so sorry.
Nightfall? Already? Suppose I'd better wrap up.
Good work with your training today, Ingrid. Here's something to wipe up the sweat.
Whoa, Mercedes. Hi. Hello. How long have you been... thank you.
You're very welcome. I've been here since you started.
Not long. Huh. Well, my apologies for not having noticed you. I get so caught up in training, you know. But why are you here? I can't imagine it was too terribly interesting watching me.
I disagree. I just couldn't help but admire your training technique. I have to say, you are very impressive. I'm nowhere near as graceful as you.
Graceful? I wouldn't say that, but thank you. If I'm to be honest, I'm the one who admires you.
Goodness, me? How so?
You're always so put together. You hold yourself with such poise and have such a keen eye for fashion. I mean, even the handkerchief you handed me smells like... lavender, is it?
It's just lovely. That perfume is a favorite of mine. I'm so glad you like it.
Even the fact that you thought to put perfume on your handkerchief is delightfully foreign to me. I'd never have thought of that.
I'll gladly share some with you. You're welcome to come visit my room whenever you'd like. We can have tea and chat. How does that sound?
That sounds really nice. Yes. Sipping tea and having a chat. It's unlike me, but it sounds lovely.
From now on, we'll meet up whenever we have time. We can go right now if you're free.
Oh, no need to trouble yourself and rearrange things for me.
It's no trouble at all. You'll never know if you're the type who enjoys chatting over tea if you never try.
All right then.
All right. This has been a long episode. Had a lot of hammering, and I partially hacked up a lung in the process. Good night. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll remember to actually cut that part of the audio out. I'm pretty sure I will, but that was not cool. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and in the next one we will continue on. We'll start with doing a lot of teaching, and we'll probably end off the video with doing one of the two missions that we were asked to do. Either maintain your training or clearing the way. Either one of them would work. It's not going to be really too troubling to do either one of them. So, anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.